Hey Instagram, happy Sunday. It's a beautiful day here in Sedona, and I'm doing a short video a la Margot on my walk. I've wondered how she actually walks and does this, and I guess I'm gonna find out now, although I have 2 canines in tow, and you never know what they're going to do. Oh boy, yes, it should be fun. There's a dog up ahead. They love little dogs. They love to try to eat them. So I will attempt to walk and talk. I don't know how well it will go, but I'm 3 weeks postpartum, and yes, I did leave little Roomy home with his dad. He was sleeping, and it's allowing me, obviously, to get out for, 20, 30 minutes, which is so necessary and so a part of my physical and mental health and emotional and spiritual health. So I'm taking it slow, but you can see it's really beautiful here. So just being out on the trail is enough right now. And I'm so grateful, even though I miss his sweet little face so much, like surprisingly so much. Oh, there's always something in this neighborhood. So I was going to blab for just a couple minutes here in the shade about postpartum grief. Couldn't even think of the word there for a minute. So I don't know how many of you are with me. I guess you would have had to experience birth, first of all, pregnancy and birth. But many of the women that I help care for, after the baby at some point, maybe it's 3 weeks, maybe it's 4 or 5 or 6 weeks after, we do one of our final visits, and we usually try to do something kind of ceremonial if the mom wants that. And what almost always comes up as a display of emotion and usually some tearfulness is that most women report just being a little sad, frankly, that it's all over. And I don't think that's something that gets talked about a whole lot. There's definitely some kind of, maybe it's taboo to talk about it because gratefully I have a beautiful, healthy, strong little boy at home and had a great birth. It's like, what do you have to be sad about? I think a lot of women say that to themselves, stop it. You have nothing to be sad about. But the truth is there's so much grief in the postpartum time. And I was just reflecting on that on my walk, so I thought I'd share. It's normal. It's normal. It's normal. It's normal. And I've experienced this each and every time, despite how the birth went or despite how I'm feeling. There's always just this sadness, if I really check in and give myself time to feel it, around not being pregnant anymore. And I chuckle at it myself too, just for me. I wouldn't chuckle at anyone else. But for me, I do, because in those final weeks of pregnancy, it's hard, man. I was going to make myself a list this time. I was going to make an honest to goodness list, and I didn't, of things I was done with, because you get done in pregnancy. I mean, if you're lucky, you do, right? You get to your due date. You might even get beyond, and you're done. You're done being heavy. You're done at peeing every 2 seconds. You're done having heartburn, right? You have a whole list of yes, I'm ready to move on. And so that's how life flows. You move on, and you're so grateful to be on the other side. So where does this grief come from? I think it's so physiological, for one, meaning that our bodies are kind of in shock. If you think how long it takes to grow a baby, 9 months, and then birth is what it is. I mean, for most people, it's a number of hours to a couple of days, right? Not long. And then seriously, in minutes, in absolute minutes, you're on the other side and your body isn't pregnant anymore. I said to my husband just the other day, and he laughed. It wasn't really meant to be that funny, but I was like, I'm not pregnant anymore, but I'm not normal. What is this? What is our word for this? And I don't think postpartum does it justice, because it's a completely new invention of ourselves. And if you're like me, you just don't know what that is yet. So you're kind of like this raw, open canvas of feelings. And that can be really hard, especially if you're trying to get back in the world super soon. And I'm really not. Like, this walk is about the extent of my participation in the world. But yet, that's where the grief comes from. Our bodies are seriously in shock. They go from being pregnant and having all those hormones and a baby inside to a baby being on the outside. And there's, I think some serious, almost separation anxiety that our bodies go through. Most of us don't leave our babies for very long, more than this 20 minutes. But some people, they must go back to work, or even if we're not leaving our babies, they're outside of our bodies, and they are emotionally and spiritually still connected, but physically they're just not anymore. So I think it all makes sense. And I guess I'm running through the rational reasons in my head too, why it's all okay. And then, of course, emotionally and spiritually, it's such a journey in pregnancy. And, if you are feeling connected, that's a really special thing. And I know for me in pregnancy, it's really a spiritual adventure, especially this last one. And so it feels like a part of that kind of is cut off at the moment too. It kind of leaves you feeling like you don't belong here or there. So I'd love to hear your thoughts if you have them here on the live or in the thread. Have you experienced just this sadness over not being pregnant? Have you been supported in that? And what have you done or not done to kind of work through it? I know for me, it's just feeling it. I don't know that there's anything to be done. It's just part of the process. And of course, for some people, it might really snowball into something more serious. I don't consider this for me, depression. It's kind of like the unspoken emotions that we feel that aren't really labeled. Postpartum depression is an important subject, and that's something most people know about. But like, what are these other feelings? Where do they go? Are they normal? Do they fall under happy? Do they fall under sad? It's really quite a ride. So for me, it's just feeling it. It's getting out here and getting sunshine and air, and reminding myself that, there's a life ahead, gratefully, and most likely, and I don't know how it'll play out. So rather than dwell on the uncertainty of that, there's certainly an exciting aspect of what's next. What's next? I don't know. Who am I? I don't know. What will my life look like with 10 children now? How will my work change due to my experience, due to his birth and his pregnancy and, just me being different? I don't know. So there's a lot of I don't knows, which definitely can lead to anxious feelings. But again, just being with them, and I think supporting our bodies really well. So yes, rest. Yes, getting out if it feels good though. I'm all for 40 days if that feels great to you, but I can't stay in for 40 days. I would lose my mind. So you have to do what works for you. Have your support system of family and friends, or even one friend, just someone that you can talk to. Get on Instagram Live and process your feelings. That's another way. And support your body in tons of other ways that would feel good to you. Eating good food, drinking fun drinks, vaginal steaming, meditation, all kinds of things that help reacquaint us with our bodies in this new form. Because remember, it is new. No matter how many times you've done this, when you birth a baby and the baby's outside of your body, you're suddenly left kind of with sort of a shell of what felt like yourself. So rather than run from that and feel weird about it, let's just embrace it. If you're with me here on your postpartum journey, maybe you're 3 weeks, maybe you're 3 months, maybe you're 3 years, and you're still figuring it out. We all have our timeline. And again, just kind of these subjects people don't want to talk about because it's uncomfortable, or we don't know how to bring them up, or we don't really know where to look for support when we're feeling these things that seem sort of not in the mainstream conversation. So that's my blab for today. I better get home to my baby, but feel free to post your questions or thoughts or comments when I post this as a post, and have a beautiful Sunday. I'm going to head home and snuggle my baby and probably hang out at the local park a little bit with all of the kids and just enjoy more sunshine. So lots of love to you from Sedona. Thanks as always for all your support and love, and so much gratitude for our funny little Instagram family. Both Margot and I both love you all, and hope you're having an amazing Thanksgiving weekend and the beginning of this whole kind of funny holiday season. All right, love from me and Rumi Soul, who will appear again soon. Have a great day.